Good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Sellers. I am a doctoral candidate at Colorado Technical University online. This is my Unit 3 discussion board, course number ODC872-1801C-01 for current topics in organizational development, and the instructor is Dr. James Maddox. Today, I'd like to talk to you about different models of change. As we know, there are several different models of change. There is Kotter's 8 steps to change model, there is Lewin's change model, and there is the 5 P's of model change. There are several different ones that are out there, but those are more of the 3 common ones that are used. Also with that, there is the purchase of expertise model, the doctor-patient model, and the process of consultation model. Now, doing the research on this, it was very interesting to see that a lot of these actually tie in with each other. And what I mean by that is when you're doing the process, you have to look at what is the dynamic of the organization and what they're trying to get out of the change model that they selected. And for me, the 3 that really stood out were, like I mentioned before, Kotter's 8 steps to change model, Lewin's change model, and the 5 P models of change. But let's talk right now about appreciative inquiry. Okay, appreciative inquiry is deliberately focused on the attention and dialogue and learning of an organization and the members within that organization, including the stakeholders, and what gives life to that organization, the purpose of that organization, and the people that are in it that is going to best suit their needs and make them the best at what they do. While action research is something totally different, Kurt Lewin in 1946 in his seminal work talked about contributions in action research, and he emphasized the importance of making use of scientific knowledge through social improvements, indicating that man has purpose of doing social science research and that it should be used for usefulness in society, meaning that whatever scientific research that we're doing, that it should affect society for the good and not the bad. Also, at that point in time, he also talked about how businesses can use that same scientific model and use it to best suit their needs and to promote them above other industries, which, yes, in a sense, that does make them better use in their marketing or whatever they're doing in business for society to make them better at that than their competition. So basically with the action research, it's more of a SWOT analysis type of deal if you would think about it, because with action research, you're going to have to find out what's working, what's not working, and then you're going to exploit what isn't working to switch it to where it's going to be useful and make it more of a strength than a weakness and a threat. Then the last one is process of consultation. Now, process of consultation, is a collaborative consultation. This is more where the problem is not looked at and focused on, but it's more how to solve the problem and what is going to be the best way to do it. So it's not focusing on the negative side of it. It's focusing on what is working and how is it working and the best that is working, how we can build off of that, if that makes sense. So basically, when you're using process consultation, you're using the theory, okay, this is what's working, how do we build off of what's working, and in building off of what's working, we'll be able to capture in that the weaknesses and whatever our threats may be and turn those into strengths as well as something that is going to work even better. So with process consultation, you have to remember clients have to be in a collaborative form. It cannot be where all the work is on the consultant. The client has to be in the process from the beginning step. Once the client is in the process and are willing to do the work, that is your buy-in part where you can get everybody's feedback from each department, trying to figure out what's going on, what's working, and how those things have worked, and why people like those things, and build on top of that. And plus, it keeps everyone connected in the relationship and in the process of consultation. Then from there, the client will need to know what extent do they want that solution and what is going to be the intent for that solution. So once the client knows what they're looking for and what they want that solution to solve, then they will be able to know what direction they need to start implementation. Then from there, you have the client and the consultant staying in a collaborative form. And what I mean by that is when the client is involved in the whole process, they will be able to gain the ability to problem solve for themselves in the future. So again, with this type of consultation, it doesn't leave all the work on the consultant, but it makes it a joint effort for everyone within the organization to be involved in the process and to help solve any unresolved issues that may come up during the process of the consultation and doing the change model. And with process of consultation, the best change model that I have found that would work with it would actually be the either 8-step of change model, this one right here, and you can see where it starts out where you're having to get the buy-in from your employees and management, and then once you're getting the buy-in, then you can go into further steps where you're communicating, finding about relationships that are tied to one another and future relationships that will build on top of one another. And then the next step is going to be the phase of engagement, engaging employees to go further beyond what they're seeing and what they found, and working with other departments and finding out what's going to be best to make the whole process a smooth transition. And then from there, you go into your implementation stages, and then you go to your last top phase here, which would actually be your results and your goals. The same thing would be with the change curve. It's just shown in a different form, where you start out with your World Cafe over here. Then you're getting people involved, you're getting them to do the buy-in, and once you get the buy-in done, then this is where your change is starting to come about, and you're getting ideas and implementations of what people wanting to see. And then once you get that done and everybody is on board, then you can go to setting your goals and how to get to those goals. Right now it sounds a little bit confusing, but it's just an A, B, C, D process. So basically, the process consultation is the consultant, myself, would come in. I would have a World Cafe with everyone and find out what's working and what has been working and things that have worked in the past and how people feel about those relationships that are involved, to reduce any anxiety of resistance, or reduce any anxieties of people maybe losing their job or anything like that, and keeping an open door policy and getting everyone on the same page. And once we get everyone on the same page, then we can do the buy-in process. And the buy-in process, again, is where everyone has a voice and they can talk about what they would like to see and what's been working and what will work even in the future. And then once that buy-in process is done, then it's the planning stage. And after the planning stage, it's the implementation stage, and then your goal stage of everything being in place and locked in. So once you have these steps done, it's basically your job's done. It's simple. Because in the whole process, you're teaching your client how to look for the problems that they may not be aware of, also looking for the positive things that they may be aware of. You don't want to focus in on what's negative, because when you focus in on what's negative, that's going to set your tone. So you're wanting to set the tone for what's positively working and how are we going to build on what's positively working. So after you get the buy-in and the World Cafe going, focus and start with what is working. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, comment on the link below, and I will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Thank you. I hope this explains the different theories of appreciative inquiry, also action research, and what process consultation is. And later on, we'll be further discussing some of the models of change. Have a good evening and good night.